You know, there comes a time when you stop counting the years, not because you've forgotten how many there are, but because the number stops meaning what it once did. I look in the mirror now, and I see my father's eyes looking back at me, my grandfather's hands, and I think, when did that happen? When did I become the old one? It's strange, isn't it? How we spend so much of our lives imagining ourselves as young, even when the calendar says otherwise, even when our knees remind us with every step. But there's something that happens, something quiet. When you finally stop fighting it, when you stop pretending, when you let yourself be exactly what you are, old. That word used to frighten me. Old. It sounded like an ending, like a door closing, like being put on a shelf to gather dust while the world moved on without me. But now I understand it differently. Old means I'm still here, still breathing, still feeling, still watching the sun come up and marveling at how it never gets tired of rising. Old means I made it, through everything. Through all the years I didn't know if I would make it through. You see, when you're young, you think time is endless. You waste it like water. You spend it on things that don't matter. Arguments that go nowhere. Worries about what other people think. Chasing things that were never meant to be caught. And then one day you wake up and realize time was never endless at all. It was always borrowed. And now you can feel it, the weight of it, the preciousness of it. Every morning is a gift you didn't earn. Every sunset is grace you don't deserve. I think that's what growing old teaches you, that you were never in control to begin with. You thought you were steering the ship, but really, you were just holding on, trying not to fall overboard, trying to stay afloat through the storms. And some storms took people from you. People you loved so much you thought your heart would stop without them. And maybe it did stop, for a while. But then, somehow, it started again. Slower, quieter, but still beating. That's the thing about grief nobody tells you when you're young. It doesn't go away. You don't get over it the way people say you will. You just learn to carry it, like an old scar that aches when it rains. And after a while, after enough years, you realize you're carrying a whole collection of scars, a whole museum of people you've loved and lost. And it's heavy. God, it's heavy. But you wouldn't put it down even if you could, because that weight, that's proof they were real, that the love was real, that you didn't imagine it. Sometimes I sit in my chair, the one by the window, and I just remember, not trying to, not forcing it, just letting the memories come like old friends stopping by. I remember my mother's hands kneading bread, the smell of it filling the kitchen. I remember my father's laugh, how it sounded like thunder rolling across the hills. I remember the first time I held my child, how small and perfect and terrifying it was. I remember dancing in the living room with someone I loved, no music playing, just dancing. And you know what's strange? I can't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday. Can't remember where I put my glasses half the time. But I can remember the exact way the light fell through the trees on a summer day 50 years ago. I can remember the sound of rain on the roof of my childhood home. I can remember things I didn't even know I was storing away. That's what old age does. It sorts through everything you've collected over a lifetime. And it shows you what really mattered. Not the promotions, not the new cars, not the arguments you won, but the moments you felt alive, the moments you felt loved, The moments you loved someone else so much it hurt. Perhaps that's the wisdom everyone talks about. Not knowing more, but understanding what's worth knowing. Not having all the answers, but finally asking the right questions. Like, did I love enough? Did I forgive when I should have? Did I hold grudges that weren't worth holding? Did I say the things that needed saying? Or did I let them die in my throat? I think about that a lot now. The words I didn't say, the times I was too proud, too stubborn, too afraid, the times I let someone walk away without telling them they mattered. And you can't get those back. That's the hardest part. You can't go back and fix it, can't rewrite it, can't call them up and say what you should have said 40 years ago. But maybe that's okay too. Maybe carrying that regret, that ache, maybe that's part of being human, part of being beautifully, painfully, imperfectly alive. You know, people don't talk about this part. The part where your body starts to fail you, where things that used to be easy, walking, sleeping, remembering, become hard. Where you need help opening jars, where you can't quite hear what someone just said, where you have to ask them to repeat it. Again, it's humbling. That's the word. Humbling. You spend your whole life building yourself up, proving yourself, being strong, being capable, being independent, and then, slowly, piece by piece, you have to let that go. You have to let someone help you. You have to accept that you can't do it all anymore. And that's harder than anyone tells you it will be. But here's what I've learned. There's a kind of strength in surrender, not giving up, not quitting, but letting go of the illusion that you were ever holding everything together by yourself. You weren't. There were always hands catching you. Always people holding you up. Always grace carrying you through. You just didn't notice it before. And maybe that's what peace is. Not having everything figured out, not being in control, but trusting, somehow, that it's all unfolding the way it's supposed to. Even when it hurts, even when you don't understand it, even when you lose people you thought you couldn't live without. I've buried a lot of people in my life. Too many. Friends, family, people I thought would be here forever. And each time I thought, I can't do this again. I can't stand at another grave. Can't hear another eulogy. Can't say another goodbye. But I did. Because what choice is there? You keep going. Not because you're brave. Not because you're strong. But because what else is there to do? And here's the strange thing. After a while, you stop being afraid of it. Death, I mean. Not that you want it, not that you're rushing toward it, but you make peace with it. You understand it's part of the deal, part of being alive in the first place. You can't have the sunrise without the sunset. Can't have the spring without the winter. Sometimes I wonder what it will be like. The end, I mean. Will I know it's coming? Will I be afraid? Or will it be like falling asleep? Just drifting off and not waking up again. I'd like to think I'll see them again. All the people I've loved and lost. My mother, my father. Friends who left too soon. Maybe we'll all sit together, somewhere, and laugh about all the things that seemed so important back then, all the things we worried about, all the things we thought we needed to prove. Or maybe there's nothing after this. Maybe this is it. One life, one chance, one beautiful, heartbreaking, precious chance. And if that's true, if this is all there is, then I'm grateful I got to live it. I'm grateful for the sunrises I saw, for the coffee that tasted good on a cold morning, for the feeling of rain on my face. I'm grateful for the people who loved me, even when I didn't deserve it. I'm grateful for the people I got to love, even when it ended. You see, that's what old age teaches you, that everything ends. But that doesn't make it any less beautiful. Maybe it makes it more beautiful, because you really know, that it won't last forever, that the people you love won't be here forever, that you won't be here forever. And so you start to notice things, the way the light falls across the table in the afternoon, the sound of birds in the morning, the warmth of a hand in yours, things you used to walk right past. You stop for now, because you understand. This might be the last time. This might be the last morning you hear those birds, the last time you see that light. It makes everything tender, everything precious, everything worth paying attention to. I wish I had known this when I was young. I wish someone had told me, slow down, look around, this matters. But maybe you can't learn it that way. Maybe you have to live it, have to lose things, have to watch time slip through your fingers like sand, have to stand at enough graves to understand. This is it. This is the only chance we get. So I try now, in whatever time I have left, to live like I know that, to not waste the days on bitterness, on anger, on grudges that don't matter anymore, to tell the people I love that I love them, to say the things that need saying, to forgive myself and others for all the ways we failed. Because we all failed, every single one of us. We all said things we shouldn't have, did things we regret, hurt people we cared about, and we were all hurt in return. That's just being human, being imperfect, being messy, being beautifully, painfully real. And maybe the grace is, we don't have to be perfect. Maybe the grace is, we were always enough. Even with all our failures, all our scars, all our mistakes, we were always enough. You know, I used to think getting old meant having it all figured out, being wise, being certain, being unshakable. But now I know better. Getting old just means you've been here longer. You've seen more seasons change, more people come and go, more things fall apart and somehow come back together. But you don't have it figured out. Nobody does. We're all just walking each other home, doing the best we can, holding each other up when we can't walk anymore. And that's enough. It has to be enough, because it's all we have. Sometimes, late at night, when the house is quiet, I think about everything I've seen, all the changes, the world I grew up in. It doesn't exist anymore. The people I knew, most of them are gone now. The places I loved, torn down or transformed into something I don't recognize. And it makes me sad sometimes to be one of the last ones who remembers how things used to be, how people used to talk to each other, how life used to feel. But then I think, maybe that's my job now, to remember, to hold those memories like treasures, to keep them alive, even if nobody's really listening, because somebody should remember, somebody should know that it mattered, that all of it, the joy and the pain and the ordinary everyday moments, all of it mattered. And maybe that's what this is, this life, this long, strange, beautiful journey. Maybe it's just a chance to matter, to touch someone else's life, to make them feel less alone, to love them, even imperfectly, to leave some small mark. some small proof that you were here. I don't know what happens next. I don't know how much time I have left. Could be years, could be months, could be tomorrow. None of us know. But I'm not afraid anymore. I'm tired sometimes. My body aches. My heart aches. But I'm not afraid. Because I know I've lived, really lived. I've felt things, deep things, hard things, beautiful things. I've loved people and been loved in return. I've stood in the rain and felt alive. I've laughed until my sides hurt. I've cried until I thought I had no tears left. And when it's over, whenever that is, I think I'll be able to say, it was enough. This life, with all its beauty and all its pain, it was enough. I sat in my chair this morning, the one by the window where I always sit, and I watched the sun come up, like I've done 1,000 times before, maybe 10,000 times, and I thought, how many more will I see? But then I realized, it doesn't matter whether it's one more or 100 more. What matters is, I saw this one. I was here for it. I felt the warmth of it on my face. That's all any of us can do, isn't it? Be here for it. For this day, this hour, this moment. Not the ones that already passed, not the ones that haven't come yet. Just this one. My hands shake now when I hold my coffee cup. They didn't used to. They used to be steady, strong, capable of building things, fixing things. Now they shake. And sometimes I look at them, these old hands, and I barely recognize them. But they're mine. They've held so much over the years. Tools, babies, the hands of people I loved. They've wiped away tears, my own and others. They've worked, they've rested, they've reached out, and sometimes they've held on too tight, and sometimes they've let go too soon. But they're still here, still holding my coffee cup, still feeling the warmth of it. That's what it is to be old, I think, to carry all these memories in a body that's slowly giving out, to feel so much, and have so little time left to feel it in. There's a bird that comes to my window every morning. I don't know what kind. Never learned the names of birds, but it comes. Same time every day. And it sits on the branch right outside. And it sings. And I sit here. And I listen. And I think we're doing the same thing, aren't we? That bird and me. Just being alive for another day. Singing our song, watching the sun, grateful for another morning. I wonder if the bird knows. One day it won't come back. One day that branch will be empty. I wonder if I'll notice. Or if by then, I'll be gone too. It's funny the things you think about when you're old. Not the big things, not the grand plans or the distant futures, but the bird at your window, the light on your table, the sound of the wind in the trees. Small things, quiet things, things you never would have noticed when you were young and busy and convinced you had forever. But now they're everything. They're all there is. I heard someone say once, we die twice. Once when our body stops, and once when the last person who remembers us forgets our name. I think about that sometimes. Who will remember me when I'm gone? What will they remember? Will they remember the mistakes I made? The times I was angry? The ways I failed them? Or will they remember something softer than that? The way I laughed, the way I loved, the way I tried, even when I got it wrong. I don't know. I won't be here to know. And maybe that's okay. Maybe we're not meant to control how we're remembered. Maybe we're just meant to live, to be here, to do our best, to love when we can. And then, when it's over, to let it go. There's a peace in that, I think, in accepting that you won't be here forever, that the world will keep turning without you, that other people will sit in other chairs by other windows, and they'll watch the sun come up, and they won't think of you at all. And that's all right. That's how it should be. Life goes on. It always does. The seasons change. The birds keep singing. The sun keeps rising. And eventually, the people who knew you, they move on too. They have to. That's what living is. I look at photographs sometimes. Old ones, faded ones, pictures of people I loved who are gone now. And I try to remember their voices, the exact sound of them, but I can't always. Time does that. It softens things, blurs them, takes the sharp edges off memory, and sometimes you're left with just a feeling, a sense of warmth, of love, of loss. But the details, they fade. And I wonder, is that what I'll become someday? Just a feeling in someone else's heart? Just a vague memory of warmth? And then nothing at all? Maybe. Probably. But right now, in this moment, I'm still here, still breathing, still feeling, still watching the light fall across my table. And that's enough. It has to be. I've lived a long time, longer than I expected to, longer than some people I knew. And I've seen a lot. So much joy, so much pain, so much beauty, and so much heartbreak. And if someone asked me, was it worth it? All of it. The struggle, and the loss, and the grief. I'd say yes, without hesitation, yes. Because what's the alternative? To never have loved because you knew you'd lose them? To never have felt because you knew it would hurt? To never have lived because you knew it would end? Number. No. The pain is worth it. The grief is worth it. Because it means you had something worth grieving. Someone worth missing. Moments worth remembering. And when it's all over, when this body finally gives out and this heart finally stops, I'll have had that. I'll have had a lifetime of moments. Some beautiful, some terrible, all of them real. And that's more than nothing. That's everything. The sun is setting now. I can see it through my window, painting the sky in colors I don't have names for. And I'm watching it, not taking a picture, not trying to capture it, just watching it, letting it be what it is, knowing I'll forget the exact colors by tomorrow. But right now, I'm seeing it. And that's enough. That's all we ever have. Right now, this moment, this breath. And then it's gone. And then there's another one, and another, until there isn't. And that's all right. That's how it's supposed to be. I'm old now, really old. My time is almost up. I can feel it. Not today, maybe not tomorrow, but soon. And I'm ready. Not eager, not rushing toward it, but ready. Ready to let go, ready to see what comes next, or what doesn't. Ready to become a memory, a feeling, a story someone tells. And then, eventually, nothing at all. It's all right. All of it. The living, the dying, the everything in between. It's all right. The bird will keep singing, the sun will keep rising, and someone else will sit in this chair by this window, and they'll watch the light fall across this table, and they'll feel what I felt. That quiet gratitude, that tender ache, that strange, beautiful peace that comes when you finally stop fighting and just let yourself be old. Just let yourself be human. Just let yourself be here for however long you're here. And then, when it's time, let go.